Well, we'll keep on spinning. And the cards still need drafted. Just gonna give it a minute to just make sure everything is working as it should be. I mean, I've been pretty good at not having tech issues, but you know, let's just make sure. Today is some Ikoria draft. Despite the stream title, let me fix that. I mean, I continue to enjoy this set, even if I'm not having the greatest amount of success with it. But it is a set I'm kind of feel enough enjoyment out of to potentially just kind of grind, really try and master it. So it seems like you can do some pretty wild stuff with it. Also a workshop thing, which I could possibly fit in. Especially they give us like this weird like have the sack of favour, which can be like any number of bizarre things. I'm gonna stick with Premier Draft for now. And that's the Hunt My Master Liger. Let's see what we get. I really want to open that Menace Rare at some point and give that deck a go. It's the one deck I've not really played against or been able to draft myself. Although I continue to remain impressed that these draft tables fill up so quick. I mean, Clone's pretty good, even if you don't get the red-green benefit, but like Clones are pretty strong, so I'm kind of leaning towards that. I like Migration Path. I like Necropanther. Of One Mind has really gone up in my estimate. It's so easy to cast it for blue. I've not actually seen this in play yet, but I'm told Cavern Whisper is pretty strong, and you know the Rock Slide's pretty solid. It's a decent enough pack. We might get something back out of it, but I feel like you have to take the Clone. And who knows, maybe the Swiftwater Cliffs wheels or something. I mean, Boon's a pretty good follow-up. I've been completely satisfied with Boon. I thought it was going to be good before the format. It remains to be good. And this isn't a particularly strong pack, to be honest. I mean, if it weren't for that, I'd probably be looking at Dire Tactics. Otherwise, this is a bunch of really shit picks for second, so I'm having to take a Boon. Rare's missing, so it must be a rare that's not worth a Boon. And the opponent's passed us another Boon, so I'm going to keep on Booning. Oh, that did not mean to immediately click that, but there we go. I will turn the music down slightly. What we got? Regal Leosaur, I've had in one draft and was pretty bonkers, but doesn't really... well, I mean, the cycling with red-white can overlap with Jeskai, but blue doesn't want to be doing +2/+1. Ragarin Crystal could be a good hedge. Glimmerbell is pretty solid. There's also Boot Nipper, which I quite like, and Helica Glider, which is decent. I don't know if it's better to just keep cutting blue. Because, I mean, most of your mutates in white and... well, mutate's kind of all over the place. But I really like Glimmerbell as a mutate target and just a solid 2-drop. I'm beginning to worry there's something up with my mouse. That's a ridiculously late Blood Curdle. So that's notable. There's another Glimmer Bell. But yeah, you gotta take a Blood Curdle, right? That's very, very late. Oh wow. Okay, blue's definitely open, I think. These are good, solid black cards to be here still. And there's some decent white coming through Divine Arrow, but I mean, Archipelago is very, very strong. And a great mutate target for Glimmerbell as well. I'm happy with how this draft is starting, which means we're going to train wreck into no wins. Who else we got in here? I don't know why I was expecting to know any of the names. But yeah, we've got removal spell, 2 boons, like... Damn. I mean, black seems open. I'm tempted to take Boot Nipper here. Cavern Whisper is pretty strong though. And Zagoth Mamba's pretty good. I think I'm going to take the Zagoth Mamba, just because getting this in pack 1 means we can really aggressively pick up mutates. I think there's also a chance that Boot Nippers or one of these is going to wheel from one of the other packs, so Zagoth Mamba feels like it's got the highest ceiling of everything here. I mean, you know, we've already got what? I mean, I feel like if you get to go off with this, like if you get to mutate onto it once and it works, that's already decent. Take a Capture Sphere, decent removal, good role player. I do wonder if the packs are just light on black or it's open, because white also seems to be open, but we're still getting good blue, so I have to assume that maybe the 2 players passing to us are in like red-green, or they just after different cards to us, because I haven't seen any of the red removal spells. I haven't seen anything good in green. But yeah, I don't understand how Blood Curdle comes 5th. Like the packs must be, that pack must have had like what pack would that have to be? Like a strong rare, maybe like a boon and 2 really powerful uncommons, and then a common you'd take over Blood Curdle. And even then, you know, that pack with Zagoth Mamba, Boot Nipper and the Cavern Whisperers, that's pretty full of stuff. I mean, it does mean it's very unlikely we're ever going to get the full effect of Mythos, but, you know, a clone's a clone. Ooh. Don't have any humans yet, but I mean, it's still a divination. And the Cavern Whisperer's solid, but we are solidly in blue, so... I like Night Squad Commando, it helps I have 1 mind. I don't know how attacking we're going to be, but it's a solid body on curve. It feels like, I mean, we're not that aggressive, but it feels like it's going to be more handy than this, so... Oh man, I kind of want all this stuff, apart from the Convolute and the Corpse Clear. We're only 2 colours to the fixed instant priority. I quite like Memory Leak. Cycling and discard is pretty good. I'll take Suffocating Fumes as well. It's just a cycling card. So we didn't get any wild wheels, but I mean, even just now, just picking up stuff that just cycles is quite nice. I mean, I really do like Boon of the Wishgiver. I'm not sure if I want 3. But I mean, Grim Dancer is very solid. If there wasn't anything else, if the Grim Dancer wasn't here, I'd probably take the Boon, or consider splashing Necropanther, which we can splash the Mutate for, actually. Although, you know, it doesn't look like it's got massive synergies in our deck, and Grim Dancer is just a solid card on rate, so... And hopefully, we cut blue pretty well. I mean, Heartless Act is just, again, just pretty solid.
Okay.
Common got taken out of this pack. Not taking the Triome because I already have my 4 Jeskai Triomes. Or Rowgrin. But yeah, Heartless Act is just pretty solid removal. Don't think we're getting anything out of this pack on the wheel, apart from maybe like a Convolute or a Sleeper Dart. Wingfeld Pterodon if we're lucky. Nothing amazing. I quite like Lurking Deadeye. It's just solid. Would like to pick something more exciting at pick 3. But, you know, it does its job. It works with a one mind. This is more like it. It's a somewhat late Fire Prophecy. But yeah, Avian Oddity. I'm not seeing any cycling payoffs yet. Because, I mean, we're picking up enough incidental cycling that, like, an Escape Protocol or an Ominous Seas would be really nice. Yeah, Avian Oddity just pretty solid. But there's a good chance we'll wheel something out of this pack as well. This pack ain't great. But I'll take a Night Squad Commander. I don't know what, I never... Like, Dark Bargain's, like... It always feels like it's fine. I would never find room for it in a deck. Unless it's, like, got Graveyard Synergy. And that kind of goes for every set. Those are both quite late. I mean, I really like Farfinder. But, I mean, I think the Otter's got most upside. Like, we're not fixing at the moment, so... Still decent white coming through, notably. I mean, we haven't quite seen any of the amazing blue cards this pack. Like a Green Tail Heron is what I'd quite like to see. We don't really have that many flies for Gust of Wind, although that might change. I say like it more than starting development. Adaptive Shimmer is potential. I think I like the Gust of Wind more. Might need to be careful of how many creatures versus non-creatures we have. It's a nice spot to pick up the Cavern Whisperer. Like, that works quite well with what we want. I mean, I kind of want the rare for standard, but... Oh, okay. Necropanther Wield, which is really interesting. There was a Tranquil Cove going around. If we get that, that makes it easier, but I'll happily play this off a Mutate Splash. And I'll take a Pterodon. Glimmerbell or Coilbug? I kind of like the Glimmerbells. They just work a bit better with these Night Squad Commandos, and they're just solid cards. Definitely taking a Facet Reader. Like, they're not amazing, but they do the job, and again, if we can get enough of one mind. Really liking where this is going. I'll pick up the Tranquil Code here for the Necropanther. I like it more than a second Pterodon. And it means if we open a busted white rare, then we're in business. And I'm, I mean, need it for every constructed set under the sun. How many permanents are we playing over? I mean, how can we make this work? I'm taking it. I mean, if not, I would take Blood Curdle. I mean, it's a solid card on its own, to be honest. I don't think we need to build around it. But I mean, I'm definitely taking it. Oh wow, I want 4 cards in this pack. I mean, Wingspan Mentor is pretty decent, given that we've already got 2 Glimmer Bells, an Avian Oddity, the Gust of Wind, the Pterodon. We do have plenty of cycling for Ominousseas, but I think I'm just going to take the Wingspan Mentor because very rarely is it going to be a dead draw. I love Ominousseas though, but not quite there. Okay, we're getting paid off a bit with this pack. Take a second Blood Curdle. Absolutely take a second Blood Curdle. And, you know, if it came around, I would happily take the Neutralise. Yeah, this is looking nice. And there's the of one mind. I think we've got 5 humans and 9 non-humans, so I definitely feel fine taking it. And even it would be another Farfinder, which could get us a basic planes. I probably don't run basic planes. It's only if we want to cast this as a 3-mana 3/3. And I feel like most of the time you'd want to be mutating it anyway. So this deck's going to look really good and probably completely whiff. That doesn't seem worth splashing. Question is whether Dire Tactics is worth it. I'm just going to highlight this to begin with. Just because we already have 2 Blood Curdles, a Capture Sphere, and a Heartless Axe, so I don't know if it's worth making the deck more inconsistent. And Whisperer, we've got plenty of mutating to go on. And I quite like this card. I've not played with it, but I like the potential. Did I take it? Yes. That's a very late Star X. I'm more than happy to take Neutralizer. Not the biggest fan of counter spells in Limited, but when you can cycle it away. Aren't really a mutual destruction kind of deck. I don't mind taking another Night Squad Commando. Do not like Anticipate in Limited. And I say that as someone who is normally, you know, play all the instants, all the card draw, but can't stomach it. Man, I didn't notice this on the pack 1 pick 1. There was an Essence Scatter in the pack as well. I honestly don't know what's better out of Blitz Leech or Essence Scatter here. And I doubt there's enough time for that later answer. I'm going to take Essence Scatter because it's a bit more on curve. And we've already got like some at 6. And it doesn't matter. Phase Dolphin, I don't want to play 1 just because we have a single otter. And Blitz Leech is a lot more upside. I don't know if we're playing all of those, but... take the uncommon for the Vault. Take the uncommon for the Vault. Can't see us playing a Dark Bargain, but I guess I'll do that. Because we are best of 1, so... Okay, well now for the hard bit, building this. I'm not going to play Larissa's Companion. Just because I don't think it's worth it. Okay, so... I know this is going to drive some people mad, but I always just like to empty out the entire deck. It stops me from accidentally putting in nonsense. I accidentally removed a land or 2 there, which I think I wouldn't want to use planes anyway. Because we don't actually have a hard need for planes. So definitely want Essence Scatter, definitely want 1 Glimmer Bell. Want these, want an Otter, a Mentor, Oddity. Let's just put in the stuff that definitely gets in. I thought this was everything that definitely should go in, and that's still quite a bit of stuff. And I would honestly happily put in another Blitzleech. We're quite low on creatures, to be fair. But this is all removal. Or boons. I mean, is there an argument for not playing 2 of 1 mines? Like, we're going to have 15 creatures potentially. Only 4 are human. Although Night Squad Commando brings a friend along. Memory Leak's a potential cut. Just going to move this up the curve because I'm treating that as a 4. It's worth thinking Larissa only gets back a Zagoth member and a Glimmerbell at this point. Although, I mean, a 3-mana 3/2 lifelink. Is it possible we don't want to capture Sphere with 3 hard removal spells to begin with? I can see that. That's the problem. I'm really bad at building decks. I mean, we're most likely going to win just with our evasive creatures and outvaluing. I think it might be Memory Leak. It's a nice one to have, but how many lands have we got? We definitely got the right lands. Yeah, we've got 16 lands. That's definitely wrong, so we actually need one more cut. I wish there was a way to just make go. Always just auto add in the right land. I don't know, is Lurrus worth it? I suppose if we are going to mutate onto this quite a bit. But 3-mana 3/2 lifelink I'd play in most situations. Although it's not better than a lot of our other 3 drops. I mean, I almost just want to... And... help me out, people. do the hard work for me. Is it possible Blitzleak is, you know, not worth it? I mean, we've got plenty of removal. Actually, I'm going to cut another one mine with 4 humans and 2 boons. Maybe that's just being too greedy. Don't know. That's a tricky one to build. I mean, I feel like this deck is good, but I also feel like every time I've got a good deck, it completely goes off the rails in the games, particularly in best of 1. But yeah, let's see how this works. I mean, I have seen some word that the best of 1 hand algorithm isn't working. Ooh, on the draw. Don't think I can keep that. This isn't... well... Lands Divination. I have heard, like, the best of one algorithm is supposed to, like... It's got a certain amount of smoothing to it to stop you having, like, horrendous hands. And I've heard some word that that isn't working. Yeah, we've got a slow hand there. That's the... Mutates a keeper and you can rotate them. We'll see what happens here. If the opponent doesn't apply much pressure, I might not cycle this boon. Because we have the of one mind, and I'd like to cash this in at some point. If they play something that's like, okay, we need to actually find some board presence, then I probably will have to cycle it. We'll play like a trumpeting Gnar or something. Essence Symbiote. So definitely mutate themed. And take a turn off. Ooh, double Blood Curdle's nice. Oh, that's Crystalline Giant. Please don't get Hexproof. Fine. Okay, well, I would like to build some board presence, but you cannot allow Crystalline Giant to live, because if it ever gets Hexproof, you just kind of lose the game. That Wolf Bear's pretty annoying. I'm going to play out my 4/4 Menace here, because I just want to build out some board presence. I'm going to get attacked by 2 4/4s. And I honestly might trade. Yeah, I think I'll trade here actually. Bristling Ball. Okay. Play a Glimmerbout. I'm gonna probably Blood Curdle the Bristling Ball. I don't like using up all this removal so early, but the opponent's gonna hopefully run out of gas and we're gonna be able to boon. Well, they're maybe not gonna run out of gas. Oh, white. I hate doing this, but we actually really don't have many answers to that Bristling Ball. Because the only blocked by one creature is really annoying. I'm going to attack here to get the extra token off the commando. And we can play Lurrus afterwards. Just as a 3/2. That should give us a bit of stabilisation. Can't play anything off at the moment, but it does mean that we can maybe just keep chump blocking with Glimmerbell forever. Proud Wild Wander. And that kind of gets around our chump block forever plan. This seems like a good opportunity to draw 4 cards. We've kind of stabilised things now. I'm going to do some blocks on this. I'm going to double block. The fact that it can assign its damage where it won't block is really annoying. Although I could potentially take 1 hit and then there's a Heartless Act next turn. Ooh, Reconnaissance Mission. Definitely play the Mamba. I mean, I like kind of actually chipping away a bit now. We've got several things held up between the Heartless Act and the Deadeye, so I'm not majorly worried right now. And again, we've now got two things we can just jump up forever with Lurrus. I'm going to take my 1 here and finish it off with the Deadeye. Take my 3, sorry, and finish it off with the Deadeye. They do get to crawl this way, but they were going to be able to do that forever. That's a nice little combo actually, Proud Wild Bonder Reconnaissance Mission. It's also interesting, the opponent's kind of has got 4 cards in hand, hasn't been doing anything with them. We still don't know what this white is for. Let me get rid of this now. We get to draw discard, but we get a 3/4, but we're going to start applying some pressure soon. I'm going to possibly cycle this Avian Odyssey onto Lurrus and get him with some lifelink. To find a Mutator soon would be in pretty good nick. Is this a Divine Arrow? It is. Well, it was nice knowing yours. Death Token Menace, please. What's also quite nice is we could Mythos of the Luna that next turn. And really start applying the pressure. And at this point, like, most of our draws are pretty strong. Like, our worst draw is, honestly, probably Thieving Otter. Frostlinks. Okay, so now tap the Grim Dancer down. Okay. Let's get involved with Glimmerbell first, and then let's go to Value Town. So let's mutate onto the Mamba. Kill your Frostlinks. Get Lurrus back to the battlefield. And then get ourselves another Death Touch Menacer. And hopefully that should be enough pressure to turn this game on its head. I mean, the fact that we've been able to draw so many cards has definitely helped us here, and there's not many cards I'm particularly worried about at this point. Because the main thing to watch out for would be a Wrath. But the only Wrath in the set is black. Unless I'm forgetting something. That might be a red Wrath, but yeah. The Wraths aren't in ban, put it that way. Okay. Good start. Good start. I mean, in some ways it's a shame we got Lurrus pack 3. I mean, I'm not complaining about having it in the deck. But had we got it like pack 1, pick 1, I would have been keen to try and draft around it. I just wonder if there's any other, like, 2 drops that we can, now that knowing that we can repeat it, just become blocking forever. I could possibly see myself justifying a Facet Reader or a Glimmerbell, but I don't think we need to. I mean, we haven't 0-3 biffed it, so that's definitely a win in my book. and I definitely feel like I've got the value out of the draft because Lurrus is everywhere. I feel like this is still a mulligan. Well, maybe it isn't. I'm gonna experiment with this. We do have two cyclers. We do have a Grim Dancer, which we could possibly make Deathstroke, Lifelink, and Menace. And we've got one of our best cards in hand. Egg. Okay, Essence Scatter is a nice pickup there, and if we find another land, then the Otter would be quite nice early on too. Oh, absolutely Essence Scattering Parcel Beast. This card is absurd, in case you hadn't noticed. You have to cycle the other one of these, unfortunately. Ooh, that's not great. Salt High. Yeah, Parcel Beast is very strong. Just turning everything into the ability to just take cards off the top of your deck. It basically says draw a card every turn. Would have preferred that to have been a swamp, but there you go. Ooh, Green Tail Heron. The opponent's off to a good start here. The fact that this Goriak has Vigilance is quite annoying because we can't even get back into things by drawing cards. Now, how does Clone work against... actually, just going to save us some damage here, to be honest. There's no point getting greedy with that. But yeah, how does Clones work with Green Tail Heron? I assume we won't draw the card, but do we just get a 4/5 flyer? And I'm going for that either way. Because that's the biggest threat. I think our ideal path here is okay, we get a 3/4 flying whenever it mutates, draw a card. I think our best hope is to draw a land, Archipelago onto this, and start tapping stuff down. So right now we're under a wee bit of pressure. And you'd have to assume the opponent is going to have some removal in this deck. And it looks to be base green-blue. And it wouldn't surprise me if the splash was for removal. Possibly the keep was wrong here. You know, missing that early free drop. Yeah, I mean, with stuff like Ram through and whatnot, I think somewhat skeptical this Green Tail Heron's going to live. Okay. That's a 6/6 Trample Vigilance. You may cast it from your graveyard with Mutate. Okay, well I think I need to take this 10. As much as I hate to. Well, that might just have, it may have just killed me, but I think I would have died anyway. If I mutate onto this, it's a 7/7 that can block that, taps down this, but I still take 1. Lurrus could gain some life, as could a Grim Dancer. So I think we have to do that. Yeah, I think that's what we have to do. There's a lot of chump blocking. Oh, the plan was solid till they had a 6/6 Trampler. And even after these blocks, like, mutating this from the graveyard is gonna be a problem. Yeah, I feel like we got out of the gates a little too slow here. Well, the opponent did a pretty solid curve, and that's even with us countering that Parcel Beast. Alright, all this highlighting says they are doing some amount of maths. And if they only attack with the Heron, that's definitely a good result for us. That's actually a fantastic result for us. I think if they attacked with everything, we were in really dire straits. I know drawing 4 cards isn't great for us, but we now get to do this. So now we have a 7/7 lifelinker. We get to tap that down. Can we attack here? Okay, we'll go to 8. They attack back with a 6/6 and a 1/3. And we can block the lure. I honestly think we attack here. And there's definite ways. Oh wow, then they're blocking as well. And they can recast that archipelago, like this thing, but they need to find the right target. I feel like this puts us in much better shape. A lot of vigilance here as well. I mean, if I knew they were going to block, I probably wouldn't have attacked, but I really wasn't expecting the block. So let's mutate over. I think I honestly want to attack here. I might double block. Well, I only have to for Menace. But the less targets they have for this, the better. And we get to get some blockers out of the Night Squad Commando. Because the trample from the Brockus is going to happen anyway. In hindsight, it might not have been worth attacking the Archipelago because we would have mutated onto it the following turn, tapped down the Heron and the Brockus thing again. So there's definitely a potential error on my part. But we feel more alive in this game than we were before. Like, especially knowing that we still have 2 Blood Curdles to draw to. Certainly makes me feel good about where we are. Okay, so they go for this here. They're attacking with everything. I mean, the Goriax. I mean, mutating onto Vigilance creatures is just really, really solid. In a way that it frustrates me. Can I just actually go for both of these? I can't. That's great. So attack with everything. I can double block the Brockus. This is going to gain 4 life, actually. So I could attack with everything. Sorry, they could attack with everything. Kill the Brock. I kind of want to keep the Brockus on the board because they can just keep remutating it. Either way, let's see what they do. Just attacking with Heron. Well, that makes the decision easy for us. You already have Menace, so... whole Colossification. Don't have an answer to a 26/26 Trampler. No. Well, I think there was a misplay on my part with making that attack. I really didn't think they were going to block with the Brokers. And perhaps the mulligan was wrong. But I'm kind of happy with how close that was given the circumstances. And that seemed like an absolutely sick deck the opponent had. And back in we go. This isn't great, but it's keepable on the draw. I mean, one of the advantages to this format is it feels very rarely you get blown out very quickly, and you know the opponent was off to a very quick start there, and even then, you know, we still made a good fist of it. I'm not going to cycle the boon, like, unless we begin to become under some pretty strong pressure. But you know, we've got that's a nice draw. We've got a Blood Curdle, we've got an Avian Odyssey. I'm not going to make my Zagoth Mamba fly. Boros, no turns by turn 3. I'm actually not going to attack here. There's no reason to for 1 damage when there's a good chance they've got a Divine Arrow. Given the value that Mamba could have. Vulpikeet, that's fine. We're drawing a lot of lands here. Which is not great, but it's also not the worst. Like, we have a boon specifically for this purpose. And we are going to get to that boon, and barring some startling developments, I feel like we're going to get to cast it relatively safely. Cycle to go for blood. Ah, for blue. I'd like to say that was going to kill a Zagoth Mamba. So this is Jeskai. And the opponent did mull to 6 and started with Plains, so they could have good stuff in their hand. There's an attack here, I'm not going to block. Because there's a hell of a lot of stuff that could happen in white here. Okay, Frostlinks is fine. Happy to see a Heartless Act. I mean, we're honestly in decent shape here. We've got 2 removal spells and a draw 4. And hopefully they... I mean, I'm happy to take 4 here. Or do I want to take 4? No. I think I'm actually just gonna... Nah, that was not what I wanted to cast. I'm just gonna Blood Curdle here. Because getting the Menace counter onto the Odyssey is fine. We're gonna take next turn off for boon, barring a very good draw. And let's not take damage where we don't need to. Because again, if we boon, they could mutate onto the Vulpikeet while our defenses are down. Okay, Lurrus and Mamba combo is there. But yeah, the shields are down. I'm gonna draw 4. No blocks. No attack, sorry. We can get rid of a Storm. I was going to chump block here, just because Lurrus will allow us to replay it, but now that we've got a Cavern Whisperer, it's just a free kill on the Frostlinks. Draw 2. The opponent's doing, like, I'm constantly worried the opponent's going to draw to something broken at some point. But at the moment, they don't seem to be applying much pressure. I'm not going to have a counter for this Cavern Whisperer, because we can pay for Convolute. I do kind of just wondering what's going on there. But the same could be asked. Our opponent's kind of seen us not play much. Very possible they have a boon of their own. Just trying to figure out what. I mean, is this a blue? Is it just like a straight like trying to play 3 colours? Because he wouldn't splash go for blood. So that's Cavern Whisperer over and kill this Frostlynx. I feel fine going on the aggressive here. Don't need to cycle, don't need to kill. I'm just gonna put Lurrus out now. The opponent's board state is kind of falling apart a little bit, and we get to maybe keep the tempo of like a Heartless Act or Cavern Whisperer again. We've also got the option of cycling Avian Odyssey onto Lurrus. The Heat Bonder. Gain 1. I'm gonna cycle. So I'm gonna mutate onto Lurrus. Just don't want to go all in on the Mamba, and the Mamba can't kill anything right now. So get another discard out of the opponent. And I'm going to cycle Avian Oddity on their turn if they choose to attack. To get this Glimmerbell out. Okay, so they cycle their own Avian Odyssey, which means we might just kill this Heat Bonder instead. So what are they discarding? Helica Glider. Okay. So we've got 2 4/4 menaces, which is a hell of a clock. And hopefully if this works as planned, we just get to eat one of these creatures. I'll probably eat the Heat Bonder. Although it might be safer to eat the Glimmerbell, just because if there's a combat trick, most of them are +2, which would kill our Whisperer, whereas with a Glimmerbell it would only make the Glimmerbell survive. Okay, they're not attacking, which is fine. There's another boon. Kind of wary of like no plays, no land, 2 cards in hand. I'm a little bit wary of what's going to happen here. Okay, this won't be the biggest blowout in the world if we get screwed here. Like I'm going to go for them to double block something with a combat trick and then Heartless Act in response, but I'm just taking it. Oh, that's a 1-mind. Do you have Blitzleech mana? We do have Blitzleech mana. So we've got options to say the least. Okay, it doesn't matter. I mean, we could have had Heartless Act plus Avian Odyssey, Blitzleech on its own. Not sure what was going on with the opponent's deck. Seemed to just be 3 colours, but not really splashing with no fixing, which is tricky. Our deck kind of did its thing. And I think that's why it's always worth playing Zagoth Mamba, is even if you get to trigger it once, Like in that case, it's just like it's now a 4/4 and it's killed something and made them discard a card. Yeah, having some odd openers. I do think this is fine. Like, if things get too problematic, we can cycle this boon. If not, we get to draw a bunch of cards with boon. And any early any early mutate is quite nice with the Mamba. This is looking like black-white humans, although it could just be a black-white deck, because you play Checkpoint Officer in any black-white deck. Okay, Night Squad Commando. Okay. Give it one more turn before I cycle this boon, because this is building up. This is always the problem when you keep like a 5-land hand, is drawing 2 more lands immediately afterwards. Leaves you in a very odd spot. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean they're playing Forest as well. Oh god, that was not the ideal draw, to say the least. Okay, that's not the card I wanted to see. We might get beat down too quickly here. To the extent I actually think we have to cycle this now. Maybe should have done it earlier. Let's kill something that makes a blocker. And we're very close to dying anyway, but this at least gets something off the board where Grim Dancer could just get killed. Oh right, they can just tap. Okay, I would have happened with Grim Dancer anyway. Well, maybe I should stop keeping these 5-land hands, but actually no, I should have cycled the boon earlier. Should definitely have cycled the boon earlier. I mean, that's my kind God, my voice is going. That's kind of me saying like, oh, there's not really aggressive decks in the format, but the black-white humans one is, and you got punished for that. I'll keep this. Yeah, see, this is what I mean about the fact that the pairings are kind of gone a bit wonky. Like, I'm in silver and I'm being paired against the 62nd mythic ranked. Yeah, rank 62 mythic limited player. That shouldn't happen. But we'll get a good game out of it. Death Touch Menace. Yazola Boom. Cycled 2 Greater Sandworms, looking for land number 3, I assume. No, we'll get in for some. I think I do need to cycle this. I just don't want to get impatient and then find myself stuck on 3 lands. Especially when we've got like mutations that can go on. We've got like several cards in our hand we can play if we're patient. Essence Symbiote. Okay, well, let's keep beating in. Divine Arrow. Yeah, that's... I suppose that was predictable, actually. Could have seen that coming. But c'est la vie. Feel like it's still correct to attack. Okay, so they were stuck on lands. which is not giving me a great deal of hope. Don't see a great deal of reason to mutate this onto the Oddity. Especially in seeing what our opponent's got in hand, it's like, let's diversify the threats. You know, one with flying, one with menace. We have a blood curdle to give our Oddity menace at some point. I would prefer if they had not have done that. But let's get rid of that. And keep the pressure up. And it looks like they've got several big threats, because they've cycled 2 Sandworms as well, and Migration Path you would play anyway, but it is ramping them. Yeah, that's a nasty one. It's now a 5/7 whenever it mutates, sacrifice a creature. Pretty good. I mean, given we've got a lot of our mutates, that could work out for us quite nicely. It definitely doesn't help us win the race, but if we could find like our Archipelago or Necropanther or something. It did nothing. Well, I mean, if anything, that will provide a sacrifice fodder. One Divine Arrow. Do you have a second one? Lurking Deadeye. Well, we're emptying their hand at least. But yeah, this is getting out of hand. They've got I really fear they had a mutate here, because otherwise we could have blocked and killed with our own Deadeye. And this deck looks like it's going to go 2-3, which feels slightly unfair, but here we are. I think I've got to flash in my own Deadeye here just to kill theirs. You can't really take 10. We do have answers we can draw for this, or at least jump blockers, so that ain't one of them. Well, that's unfortunate. It felt like this deck felt like it could do better, but it always seems to be the way that the better the deck you draft, the worse it pays out. Unfortunate. We got a Gem Razor and Hunted Nightmare.